if you haven't logged into Cengage yet, it will, if you haven't paired your accounts together, it will ask you to put in your username and password for Cengage. You would have received this or set this up when you purchased the registration code and book. If you haven't purchased the registration code and book, you can do so at the Cengage website. The information for that is located in the required resources section on Moodle for this class. Once you're logged in, you want to make sure it's the correct assignment, which it is. You also want to read this important information. It's basically telling you will be instructed to open an application. In this assignment, it's Excel, and create a new file and a new worksheet. You want to ignore those steps, and you want to use the file that's being provided to you in this assignment. You have 3 attempts to correct mistakes between attempts and to get the score that you want. So go ahead to the right hand side, press start. Because I've attempted the assignment before, it's starting me off at step 2. So I just want to navigate back to step 1. And if you want to read the process flow, you click on the info tab, and it basically tells you, hey, to get started, you need to download a file, download the start file, open up the instruction file or the book, and then upload the assignment once complete. First thing you want to do is open up the instruction file, which on this assignment it is in the book. And this is the instruction file within the book, and these are the steps. I'll go ahead and minimize this or just navigate away from it, and we want to download the start file as well. For this assignment, it's going to be an Excel file, and it's going to be named with information specific to you. So what we want to do is when my computer downloads a file, it puts it in a location that I have already predefined, and it's usually in my download file section. If you're not sure where your computer is downloading files to, if you select the ellipsis to the right hand side and show in folder, it'll actually bring this over. It actually show you where your files are being saved. So my files are going to downloads. So my PC or this PC, C drive, users, Ozone, downloads. This is where my file is being saved to. For this assignment to complete, we need to open the file, right? So I just want to open the file. And here you see we start off with a blank sheet. Let me get rid of this. We start off with a new blank workbook. The first set of instructions basically wants you to go and create a new file. You skip those, you're going to use this file. There's also an instruction step for increasing the zoom, which is not a graded part of this assignment, but I'll show you how that works, and you probably already know. But in the right hand corner, you'll notice there's a percentage button, and basically default is it opens at 100%. You could select predefined zoom in or out settings to change the zoom, or you could type in a specific zoom setting. You could use the plus or minus arrows to increase or decrease the zoom settings by 10% each click. Another option is you could select anywhere it's in the worksheet, hold down your control key, use your wheel on your mouse to scroll up or down to increase or decrease zoom. When you open up a worksheet, normally from a remote source, it'll open up in protected view, which is just to help protect you from anything executed in the worksheet. In order to modify a sheet, you want to select enable editing so we can provide modifications to the sheet. Okay. I'm going to leave the sheet partially on the screen. I'm working with 2 monitors, so that's why I'm moving the sheet to the side. I'm going to browse back to the instructions, and we'll go from here. These are the steps we want to skip. This is the zoom section that I just went over for you. And then to navigate backwards or forwards, use the arrow. Excuse me. So the first set of instructions, 1, double-click the Sheet 1 tab to select the text of the sheet name. Type miscellaneous expenses as the new name and then press enter. Okay, so you want to double-click here. And you can go ahead and type in the name. And I'll show you a shortcut how to do this, but so you type in the entire name and press enter. And as you can see here, the new name is, I just abbreviated miscellaneous. But if this is the words they want us to type in, one way to do a shortcut, and it definitely helps when it's a lot of text, right? You want to just copy and paste it. Because you're working in an ebook, when you highlight something, when you select text, I want you to know, hey, do you want to highlight this text? For future reference, add a note, read the text, add a flashcard. Flashcards is something you can use to study or review. In this case, I just want to copy, right? So if you're familiar with copy and paste, once you have some text selected, you go ahead and right-click on it and select copy. Or if you're using the shortcuts, you can use Control-C. It does the same function. Double-click where you want to paste the information and use Control-V, and it puts miscellaneous expenses as the sheet name. Of course, you could just go ahead and type it. I mean, that's the route to go. I'm just showing you ways to use shortcuts. So you'll notice the information in the file. The sheet name is green and it's bold. That means this is the active sheet. When you have more than one sheet, you'll see more than one sheet tab, and you'll see various names down here. But the only sheet that's active, the one that you're actually working in, will be green and bold. Okay. So I'll go ahead and save this file. I recommend doing save as until you are familiar with where your files are being saved and the file names you are using. If you already passed this point in your career, your education, then just save as you will. Just a little thing I found has helped people in the past. So I know my file save location I want to use is on my desktop, and it's in this folder, Nick. And you can see my file name here. I want to pay attention to the file name because when I come back, I don't want to guess which file I'm working with. Well, Windows tries to help you out, and they've added a 7 because this is the 7th time I've saved in this file to my computer. So I'll just go ahead and save it with the file name that's given to me. And I'll show you, we'll need to modify this going forward. So at this stage, let's make believe I've completed the 16 different steps to get to the end of the file, and I'm ready to submit it for grading. What I'll do is I'll close the file. I'll come back to the instruction set and proceed to step 2. Step 2 is to upload the file, and it's telling us already that this is the name we expect you to have on your file. So to select upload, you could pick a location where your file is currently and upload the file. Let me get this file out of here. Okay, so I'm going to upload file 7, and it's already telling us that the file name does not match the one that needs to be uploaded. Okay, so I see the file name here. Let me open up the location. Open up the location of my file. Okay, so I remember it was on my desktop. It was in this folder. And I could see it's right here. File 7 is the one I'm working with. So there's a couple of ways you could go about doing this. But you want to change this file name, so you want to rename it. You want to rename the file name to this name right here. So you could go ahead and type it. I prefer just to copy and paste, but so I'll press Control-C to copy it, renaming this file, and you can just type this out. That's why I have both screens up for you to see. Press Enter, and then once you have this file selected, you can just drag it into here, and then gives you a check mark and gives you a submit button to show that, hey, you're ready to submit the file name matches. So once you submit, it's going through its checks to make sure the file's safe, the format's correct, it is an Excel file, the size is reasonable for this assignment, and then the name matches. And when you select view your report, this is where it gives you the instant feedback of your score and what you may have done incorrectly. So because we didn't do all the steps, it's basically telling us you were successful, you did rename a sheet, but we did not insert a new sheet, we did not move the documentation worksheet, but we did delete a worksheet. So we have partial credit for the assignment, and it's telling us we made a 6 out of 100, which is not great, right? So we want to try to make some corrections. So you go back to where your sheet is, open up your sheet, and you'd work through what issues you have, right? So it's telling us insert and name the document and site information worksheets. The workbook should contain a worksheet named documentation, which I do not have. So you go back to your instruction set, go back to the instructions, open it up, and see where you have to go and complete the steps you didn't complete, right? So that's it. You just run through it till you get it correct, and you continue going through this process. I hope this video helps you to get started. I know you have more questions, but please work through it. It's important to get through the first assignment and learn how assignments are accessed and submitted. I will produce another video to cover this assignment in total, but this was really just to get it started.